think we're live. I think we are. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. If you are new here, welcome. Let me make the shot a little bit bigger. Please excuse our dust. I am still in the middle of rearranging my sewing room to incorporate the new dream box over there on the wall, and I've got a lot of work to do. I am determined to get it done this weekend. Good morning, everybody in the chat. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It is Black Friday. I've been scouring all the emails coming into my box. You never know when there's going to be a deal that you just can't pass up, right? So very excited about that. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed your day with your families. Or if you're like us and we don't have family nearby, maybe there was some good FaceTime going on with some turkey involved and whatnot. Let's say hi to my girls. Hello, hello. There they are, being so patient and good. This is Frito and this is Dottie. And let me get their little bucket here. It has a goldfish on it because years ago, I used to give Frito a little goldfish. She loves her goldfish. Her daddy would give her goldfish all the time. Dottie, you're out of shot. Come here, baby. Come over here, Sugar, so people can see you because you're so cute. Yes, so cute. Just adorbs. It's just not a good setup right here because of how narrow it is with my big 10 needle in the way. You want another one? Because you're being so good. Yes, I would give treats to the dogs in the audience too that love to watch in the morning. I know they do, and they get kind of crazy. You guys ready for your sticks? You ready to go brush your teeth? You ready to go brush your teeth? Well, come on, let's go. Go with Sissy. Go on. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Oh my goodness, y'all. Dottie is our 5-month-old cowboy corgi. She's something else. She is definitely a pistol for sure. That's right. She's got to brush her teeth. She lost a tooth day before yesterday. Her big incisor, the fang, her baby one, that came out. We were playing tug and throwing and tugging and all that. And then she finally stopped and shook her head, and she's going, num, 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 num. I told Keith, I said, I think she lost a tooth. So, okay. Yeah, Dave. Then some crazy guy from Florida started sending treats that are now known as Dave biscuits. I wonder who that could have been. Who could that have been? Oh my goodness, guys. So if you were paying attention, I changed the title of the video at the last minute because yesterday I had decided all day long, I was like, I'm going to get some stitching in. I'm going to get some stitching in. I didn't get any stitching in at all, but I am doing the Passport project series with my girlfriend's quilt shop, and we're going to give away a $100 gift certificate to my girlfriend's quilt shop next Friday, not today, because today's kind of an off day since it's the holiday. So on the live stream next Friday morning, we're going to give that away. And I want to thank Chris from my girlfriend's quilt shop up in Logan, Utah for that. Hashtag wiggle butts. No, today the giveaway today. I'm giving away 3 yards of Hot Fix adhesive. So I want to thank Scott Mullins, the owner of Hot Fix Adhesive. If you want to give this a try, do a hashtag Hot Fix, and we'll give this away today. U.S. shipping only, please. So I'm going to give that away next Friday. Now, in order to be eligible for that gift certificate, you had to have signed up for the Passport Project Series using my link, and we'll go through all of that. And when we do the giveaway, and then you'll know if you did or not. Okay, you'll know if you did. And then I will verify with my girlfriend's quilt shop that the winner actually did sign up for the Passport series using my link. And then the winner will get that $100 gift certificate. If not, if it's somebody who just pressed the button and didn't know what they were doing, then we'll go to the next person on down the line. I will have the video of the picker that will show who sequentially would have been chosen before the winner. Okay, so we've got that going. Now, that Passport thing was very cool. If you have a scan and cut and you're not savvy with it, the whole thing is about getting you familiar with your scan and cut, step-by-step instructions. You do have to provide your own physical products. So they had a wreath and bow project, and I got to show you guys. I mentioned before the holiday that Kathy says, I'm in the passport. Well, good. That's awesome. So I mentioned before the holiday, I'm not a bow person. Well, they had a bow project in the passport series, project series. You get 4 every Friday. They come out with a new project. Well, last Friday we got the bow. We're going to get another one today. It comes out Mountain Time, right? So I broke out some of my Kimberbell red felt that I had left over from a project that I'd not done. I'm not a bow. I don't do bows. This won't survive in my house. So I just did it and I pinned it on. It's got a little quilt pin under there. Okay. I just pinned it on, but I wanted to show you guys that even I could do this. And I just put the felt right on a mat. And that's when I discovered that my low tack scan and cut mat has 0 sticky. And I thought, I need to restick that. So I went digging and I found my Zig glue. And I've had several people, many loads, how about not several, loads of people ask me, can you show us how to do that in a video? And I thought, well, sure, I'd love to do that. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay, I'm going to do this. And then when I get done with that, I'm going to trim up the last prim block, blah, blah. Yes, I'm going to trim up the last, the most recent prim block that I stitched to the basket. So, all right. So they're offering 12 projects for $12. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. So this turned out just adorable. It's actually 3 pieces of felt. Well, it's 1 piece of felt cut with 3 shapes. So it had the little back piece and it had the little long strip. You folded the center into a bow and it had the little thing that goes around the middle of it. And it turned out just adorable. So this is my Kimberbell Classics Volume 2 pillow that we made in the hoop, 3 different hoopings. This is the Deck the Halls design, which is the wreath. And then I thought, well, I'd put this bow on to show you guys that I can, in fact, make a bow. So that was cool. I enjoyed that. Y'all, I'm not a hot glue gun, bow, ribbon. You put me behind a sewing machine and I can work miracles. Or an embroidery machine, it's game on. But if I have to craft, now we're talking challenges. So that's very hard for me. As a matter of fact, I'll show you, I was wanting to make, I want to make let me see if I can pull this up. No, it was in my regular, right here. I want to make, so I have a white Jeep Gladiator, the one that looks like a little truck. And I want to, in my back window, right behind where I sit in the driver's side, this is to keep my husband from borrowing my vehicle. So I wanted to put a sticker on there that said something like Lady Veteran, right? Because I've got my MSM, Meritorious Service Medal plate on my Jeep. Is that on my Jeep? Or did we put that on the motorhome? Anyway, yeah, I have an MSM plate on my Jeep. Okay, so telling y'all what I drive. Don't stalk me. So I want to show you, I came up with, in the download version of Canvas, a sticker I wanted to make using vinyl, right? So let me share my screen with you so you can see. Let me make sure my StreamYard tool, yes, 329 of you have entered for the Hot Fix adhesive. Okay. So let me share my screen with you so you can see what my, what it's going to look like. So there we go. Isn't that nice? I really like this. And I messed it up. Of course I messed it up. Of course I messed it up. I didn't watch video ahead of time. I thought I knew what I was doing. Then I realized the word veteran is not kerned properly. That's too much space right there between the E. Anyway, it just turned out really, I like that. It's clean. Let me remove this. I went on base and I was looking for like Lady Veteran or anything. They don't have that. They have female, which I don't care for. Woman, lady is better to me. So That's what I want my sticker to look like. So yesterday, I tried it twice and I screwed it up twice because I'm not a vinyl crafter. And it was just a total disaster. Total and complete disaster. The first time, I remembered to make a weeding box, which is nice. That's a handy feature that they've got on your ScanNCut if you've never used it. You like that, Lady Veteran? I know. I just like that. I want something that looks feminine, right? Thank you, Midge. Midge says, ladies more respectful, in my opinion. Yes, it is, absolutely. So I found this adorable glitter vinyl, and I thought that would be so cute in pink on the back of my white truck, wouldn't it? Well, it would be great, except this is iron-on. That's not going to work. I need pressure sensitive standard vinyl. So I did it half cut, but it cut through the whole thing. It was a mess, total mess. This is a new mat too. This is just a mess, y'all. If you're here to learn about how to do ScanNCut vinyl crafting, you're in the wrong spot. I'm going to tell you that. Go watch somebody else. I'm a fabric crafter. So anytime I do this, it's a crapshoot. But following the instructions from my girlfriend's quilt shop worked out fine. This is not wanting to come off now. Okay. That was loud. Okay. So I still have a whole bunch of plastic stuck that cut. It was just a hot mess, y'all. I put it on half cut. I don't know. Disaster. So I was using the wrong kind of vinyl. I did mirror it. Use a vinyl blade, half cut, and lower speed to 3. Okay. Lady Veteran wife? No. 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 What it is I just don't think, men don't put that on their vehicles, right? They just don't. But anyway, I appreciate the suggestion, but I'm going to stick with Lady Veteran, USAF retired. I think that's fine. And then when I go to my Lady Veterans, it's actually women veterans, is it? Of my county. I'm sure somebody's going to see it and say, would you make me one? I'm sure. Then that'll stress me again, right? Okay. So following the passport instructions, it was great. It worked out fine. The vinyl, not so much. So I just need to watch some videos on that. Okay. Oh, they will, you think? Yeah, they'll see that. So I was going to do, my original thought was white vinyl to match the paint on the truck. And then I saw that pink glitter and I said, oh, I really like that. So we'll see. I've got to order something. Those of you who know, I didn't go to the group this month. I was going to, I had every intention. And I did something that day. I was exhausted. They meet at 6:30 at night. That's only 2 hours before my bedtime. So, okay. So as I said, as I was digging around in my mats, I discovered a completely non-sticky low-tack mat. So I want to re-stick it using Zig. And I've done this before and it works great. So Zig is a glue. Okay. It's two-way glue and it says broad. I don't think it's talking about me. I think it's talking about the tip. So it comes like this. You can also get 2 of them. Okay. So, oh, I like that shirt that says serve like a girl. I like that. That's cool. Yeah. You don't need to mirror the regular vinyl. Oh, iron on only. See? Yeah. So if those of you who know, just let me, start a sentence and finish it, Becky. So I put the name of our boat on the boat with pressure sensitive vinyl, and y'all, it stayed on the boat. The name of the boat was Kids Inheritance. And it stayed on there for years, going through the shallows and at the Gulf Coast, no problem. So I just don't know what kind of vinyl that was. And again, I had to watch a video in order to tell me how to do it. So if you know what kind of vinyl I need, that would be great. I have the transfer tape, Elaine. I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. Watch Courtney. I know, right? She's the queen of knowing how to do this kind of stuff. Okay. So I have my very unsticky. Nothing. I got nothing. See? Terrible. That's my low tack. This one, that's what you're looking for. Like that. Okay. This one, I got nothing. I'm going to shake this up. Yeah, Courtney's a sweetheart. You got your zig from Amazon in a 2-pack, and it is the broad. Okay, Karen. Yeah, that's what I did too. I think this is a loose one I've had laying around. So it has a white tip. You've got to get that glue. Just mash it like this. Your tip will turn the same color as the tube. See, here it comes. See that? So I'd like to make sure it's completely clean. Get all the extra little stuck on vinyl like I have on my other one over there. Get that off. And just make sure it's completely clean. And I took some wipes to it to get all the fuzz off. Okay, we're getting there. We're almost there. See that? That's good. Okay. Now I like to do mine in quadrants. That's just me. You can go all over. This is a good project for kids. I told y'all I'm not a crafter, so this is hard for me. And it's going to stay blue until it dries, and then it'll turn clear. And I try to stay inside the black things here. Doesn't matter. But I just like to do it in quadrants. So that's nice, smooth. I mean, if it gets a little goopy, it's okay. It just takes, I won't use it till tomorrow. So it'll dry 24 hours. But when it's clear, you're done. It's ready to go. And it'll work great. It works great. Oh, I got some dog fur on there. Dang it. Okay, I got it. I got some Dottie fur floating around. That's because I'm moving so much stuff in my room. And my robot vacuum has not been able to get everything like I wish it would. I'm sure I'm doing this wrong. But so many of you say, how do you do that? I want to see how you do that. So we're doing it because it works just fine. And you can do this over and over. Now, some of you talk about doing cleaning your mats with LA's Totally Awesome. Y'all, once you zig your mat, I do not recommend doing that, okay? Because Totally Awesome is a detergent. And you're going to have one sticky, goopy mess every time you spray it on. So this is like an end of life thing, okay? So you're going to you can use Totally Awesome on your mat until you can't anymore. And you just don't get any sticky back, okay? I got too much glue in my margins and not enough on the spot. It's not hard. Y'all, if I can do this, y'all can do this. This is easy. And the glue is relatively inexpensive. I got it in my Amazon store in my, I don't know if it's quilting or I have embroidery favorites. I might have a section for scan and cut. I can't remember. Okay. You can do this 2 or 3 times with the tube of the zig. It's worth it better than having to buy a new mat. Okay. I think I'm done. There. That looks good. That work. Okay. Well, hi, Robin. Thanks for joining us. All right. So I'm all done. I'm just going to leave this sit for a day. It'll be nice and sticky tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Now I wanted to trim the prim quilt block that I made the other day. Today's giveaway, courtesy of Hot Fix Adhesive, we have a Hot Fix standard roll, 10 yards. No, 10 inches, 3 yards. That's it. 10 inches, 3 yards of Hot Fix Adhesive. roll there. Thanks, Scott, for sponsoring today's video or giveaway. Didn't sponsor the video, sponsoring the giveaway. So, all righty, what do we got here? We have 440 entries. That's awesome. If you are just joining us, we're going to do the $100 My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop gift certificate giveaway next Friday. If you joined the Scan and Cut Passport Project series using my link, then you're eligible for that. Okay. So first block on Prim was done and trimmed and very, very pretty. Now this one, this is the flag block, turned out beautiful. And now this one, earlier this week, I showed you guys how I used my Sew Tights magnets to just float over and over. So here's the, so y'all, there's the back. Okay. So we have a hole from the very first pass of getting that first block done. And then I trimmed it out in the hole. And these are the magnet backs. These are taped on from Sew Tights. Okay. They're having a sale. And my code PTWT10, you get another 10% off. So that's a deal. If you were thinking about getting them for your long arm, now's the time. Black Friday is always the time to get your Sew Tights. So I did a HD up here. I was getting a little bit of puckering in here from these super dense stitches, just a little bit, not a lot. Okay. And so I taped the fabric here and I actually put the HD on top of the metal frame, the magnetic frame, to hold that taut. I tried it up here too, but it gave me the willies because it was just too close. Because the needle plate for the 10 needle is right back in there. So I was like, I don't want to do that. Now on this one, I did stitch that crosshair. It's a, what do you call it? Yes, it's a loss for words. It's a big basting stitch is what it is. It's a very large basting stitch. And that is designed, I'm going to zoom in so you can see me do this. Let me get my, let me get my rotary cutter. And that, it kind of didn't take, and then I did it again. So I've got a loose thread, but you'll get the idea. So the idea is that you're going to use the 6.5 inch Cute Cuts ruler and just align center on that big basting stitch. And that's the easy way to see how to trim it up and get it even. And from what I can tell, it works pretty well because I'm looking to make sure that a line on the ruler is even with the bottom of this box on that star. And it's actually aligned straight with these points on this star right here too. So that's pretty good. So again, just the point of floating this. I don't have my mat on a mat. Let me show you guys. I used my KIMBERBELL rotary mat the other day. Let me pick this up very carefully. Oh, if you don't have a rotary mat, you can use a mat on a mat. There's always a way. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it. See? That way you don't have to realign that mat every time. Or that ruler. You don't have to realign it. Looks good. Yep. I think that is in the way. Okay, good. So, yeah, both of those. A little bit of pucker, hanging on there on that edge. Okay. This looks really good. Let me back out. Perfect. Okay. That turned out beautiful. Look at that. So now it says to very carefully take out that basting stitch. And I need to do that. And then I am using Designs by Juju's Tear Easy to get off. Very nice. This is going to turn out just beautiful. My intention is to actually quilt over the embroidery. I'm going to use a very large quilting pattern. I don't know what it is yet. And some neutral thread, and just quilt over the whole thing once I get it all together. I've seen quilts done like that, and y'all, don't clutch your pearls. They actually turn out really pretty, okay? I did that on my how to build a scarecrow quilt, and it turned out just lovely. So this is nice. And I got to take this apart right here. So that turned out good. All right. So I'm trying to get through all of the stuff. Yeah, look already, guys. I'll show you on my mat here. It's not as blue as it was. This is good. This works. This little hack works out really well. I can't say that or show that when I'm working at a brother dealership teaching a class, but I can show y'all on my channel. Okay. Let me see here. I need to stop sharing that. There we go. A couple weeks ago, I had told y'all that my next door neighbor. Oh, let me get back to this. I'll show you just real quick. So now all I need to do is pull off my little sew tights here, my magnets, and that's all the waste I have on that particular embroidery block. The instructions tell you to cut an 11 by 14 piece of fabric for the 6 by 10 hoop, and I refuse to do that. Okay, so I just cut my square to 8.5, and then I can trim it to 6.5. Those instructions are designed for people who are going to hoop the entire thing. But now what I'm going to do, okay, is I just have another piece of Tear Easy, and I'm going to set it right here, and I will get my next square. I'm just going to quickly align it, okay? I'm just going to put this in here. This is old school, y'all. People have been doing this forever. And since the backing is taped, the back of the magnet is taped right here to the outer piece of stabilizer, the original piece of stabilizer. I don't have to use pins to float. This is the best. Oh, so nice. I didn't pinch my fingers and I'm done. Isn't that awesome? If you're going to do this method, you want to make sure to use an oversized hoop, okay? And if you have only a 6 by 10 hoop, all right, and you know that, let's pretend this is a 6 by 10 hoop, all right, it's narrow and whatnot. You can cut your fabric to like an 8.5 and make it longer, okay? So then the needle is only going to stitch right in here. Put your magnets up here and down here, way up away from that metal needle plate on your single needle, okay? That's the point of that. So just keep these. You absolutely have to tape so they don't come off, they don't get hung up and slide around underneath. That's terrifying, okay? And then keep your magnets well away from the stitch field, and it works great, okay? Okay, let's go stitch on the quilted snowman, shall we? Yeah, you guys, give me a thumbs up. Is Callie here? I saw somebody talking about. She was here the other day. That's my granddaughter. She has the NQ 3550W, the 6 by 10, the brother machine. Y'all, these designs right here are from Fabric Confetti, and she is having a 20% off sale through the weekend. And you can use code PTWT10 for another 10% off, fabricconfetti.com. I got a link to it below. Using the link is the best way, so she knows who came in on my link. She can keep track of that. Okay? That's awesome. All righty. Oh, my goodness. Everybody's saying hi to Audrey. Is Audrey here from Hoop Sisters? Is that her? You like I'm mentoring her? Y'all, I got it. Yeah. We got so much mentoring going on in my family. It's not even funny. Let me pull this down and get us situated here. Okay. I've got to Loosen that. There we go. That'll help. Now we're pointing in the right place. Yeah, some of you guys are just loving fabric confetti. They have the cutest stuff. Oh my goodness. Let me sit down over here. I've got a charging cable for my laptop. I'll just hang this up here. Otherwise, the dog will get it, right? Okay, so, oh, is that right? Kay McDonald, your granddaughter would love a shout out. She's 11 too. Well, hello, Kay McDonald's granddaughter. I hope you enjoy stitching. Yeah, that's fun. Ordered 2 packs of the sew tights and you forgot to use the code. Sailing, girlfriend, you know better. How long you been watching me? I know, right? Y'all, one of the cool things that I love about our community that we have, I'm not showing this until the 1st. I have so many vendors in our community, whether they're quilting or machine embroidery or whatever, that they give my viewers a discount. And I think that's really neat. Let me put my light toward me down here. What model of scan and cut do I recommend for a first one? So if you go on my blog, powertoolswiththread.com, in the search box, type in the word, either you can type in scan and cut or buy, B-U-Y. I did a post several years ago and I've kept it up, and it's which model scan and cut should I buy? And there's a whole bunch of different kinds, but there's a lot of considerations to take into account. If you can, we are the Becky Nation. No, we're not. PTWT, Power Tools Nation. Oh, that's funny. Is it Audrey? I missed it. Is it Audrey from, you went through my Amazon store and bought different ones. Will I still get credit? Sure. Yeah. Amazon is just not as gracious as some other people. Anyway, so for me, the very first model out of my mouth would be the 325. Okay. The 325, because the SDX 325, y'all, that's an expensive machine. It really is. It's close. It's $800, I think. You can go to Mulqueen Sewing and get it there, and you'll get a free Power Tools with Thread tote bag if you get it from him. And I also have affiliate with my girlfriend's quilt shop, so you can get it from her. But, oh, make that for my Jeep. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, that's a cute sticker. Oh, Audrey is the granddaughter who wanted a shout out. Thank you, Quilt Wench. Thank you. Quilt Wench is in charge of our hospitality committee. She makes sure everybody knows that we know you're here. So where was I? I've got Audrey on my brain. Hi, sweetheart. I love that you are learning to sew at this age, young lady, because that is something you will take with you through your entire life once you know how. It's just amazing. I tell you what, so I retired from the military, and when I went in the military in 1983, I'm old, right? But in 1983, I joined the military, and I did 6 weeks of basic training at Lackland Air Force Base, and then I went to Shepherd Air Force Base for 6 weeks for my tech school. In tech school, I was sewing stripes on uniforms. I was in the Air Force, and the base charged $1.25 a patch to sew a stripe on a uniform. So you think about a young airman, right? He's got name, and he's got U.S. Air Force, and maybe he doesn't have a command patch yet or any of that because they don't know where they belong yet. And then he's got stripes. So that's 4 patches per uniform, okay, at $1.25 a piece when you're not making any money, really. So I was sewing on patches for $1 a piece. So I was making $4 a shirt. How about that? You can use your sewing skills anywhere, and they come in so handy. You wouldn't believe it. So anyway, that's my little story about that. I did that everywhere I went. I had a sewing machine with me in Korea, and I had another one with me in the Azores. And you went to training in 79, Carol? Yeah. But, well, to her, we're old, right? But yeah, I was able to do that. I sewed the nurseries for my son and all my grandchildren, their nurseries, you know, the ruffle around the skirt and the bumpers and all that, and the crib and all that. So that was cool. And I love that we're getting young ladies in here. I'll have to tell my granddaughter she'd be in good company. So very cool. Yeah, your son brought his patches to you to sew on. That's right. Yep. My son can work a sewing machine. He can. Mm-hmm. Made by Margie said, I used to type term papers. There you go. Yep. Okay. So I am in the middle of making this quilted snowman from, oh, here's our passport. See that? I got mine. I printed it out. Okay. So we're in the middle of making this quilted snowman. This is a pattern by Lori Holt from the Fat Quarter Shop. Can I use that magnet on the luminaire too? Yes, Valentina, you can. But like I said, you need to make sure that the magnets are well away from anywhere that needle is going to stitch. Okay. So you've got, you've got lots of hoops for that luminaire. Is there an embrilliance code? There is. Yes. There is an embrilliance code. I don't think I put it below in the description box. I did the other day. Maybe it's in there. Yeah, there's a blog post about it I'm supposed to put out, and I didn't. I know we have it in our Facebook group. You finished your top, grandma's quilts and creations. Good, awesome. I'm still plugging along at mine, y'all, because I've got so many irons in the fire, you know. But I did get this. I've got my Lori Holt project board from the Fat Quarter Shop and my Alpha Clippies, and everything's ready to go. So my fabric pieces are cut and good. Okay. I have got, if you've got Alpha Biddies, which are just the tiles without the clips, I've got the clips that I use in my Amazon store, in my quilting favorites. And then you can just peel off the adhesive cover. You can peel off the paper, plastic, and put that Alpha Biddy on there. It's wonderful. So, oh, don't forget, hashtag hotfix, you guys. US shipping only, please. So I have switched to hotfix adhesive because the back of it is not paper. The back of it is plastic. It is such a superior product to the, is it Thankful For You is the code? Okay, that might be, yeah. I think you're right, Quilt Wench. I think you're right. But use my link below, please. That helps buy the dog biscuits for sure. So on any of you who have used hotfix adhesive, I'm sorry, any of you who have used Pellon's Heat and Bond or Heat and Bond Light on your mat, paper side down, y'all, it'll shred. It's terrible. Many people have ruined mats. Okay. I used to call it a rite of passage. With hotfix, you don't have that because it's a plastic. So if it stays on the mat, you just take your spatula and get a little corner of it. The whole piece just comes right up. No more ruined mats. Very nice. Okay. Am I low on treats? No, Dave. We got plenty, sweetie. We probably don't need any till like February, okay? Make a note on your calendar. Hey, I'm flying United up to Chicago in May, FYI. I'm taking Bonnie with me. I don't like traveling alone. I do have a link, an affiliate link to my girlfriend's quilt shop. Yes, I do, Kathy. I sure do. Underneath the video, it says more, ... Tap that and it opens up. Also on my blog, powertoolswiththread.com, there is a page for preferred vendors, and there's a whole list of quilting and machine embroidery vendors that I work with to get you guys the best deals. And if they're not there, I would, I'm either not working with them yet, or Anyway, those are my preferred vendors for stuff. Okay. Good, good, good. Yeah, that'll be a fun flight. I know. Well, if I can get I don't know if Bonnie can get on the same plane. I don't think so. She's leaving out of Houston and I'm flying out of San Antonio. I normally fly Southwest, but they don't have a nonstop from San Antonio to Chicago. So I'm going to H&H, which is a huge trade show for the industry. So I get to go and see what's coming out, new stuff. It's kind of like Market for Houston, but bigger. So I'm very excited about that. Okay. I need to get with what I'm doing here. Last time we worked on this thing, I put together the handle block. So I've already done, I'm missing some, there they are. We stitched on this before, I think. I'm doing what I can here, y'all. I got glasses, yes. So I had to make 8 of these. Those are good, right? And I had to make 4 of these. So those are ready. I've got that part done. And then, let me put this down here. So these are the tires right here. I love I call them puzzle quilts. I love puzzle quilts like this. So see the wheels. So there's the tires and the inside of the wheels. That's those pieces. Okay. Good, good. Part of it. And then this is also part of it, the round part. Okay. You're going to H&H before the vendor show, Cheryl? Cool. Yeah, I'm going to get there on Tuesday. I'll be at H&H Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, I'm traveling to Wisconsin. I'm going to drive up to Wisconsin to visit family. I'll probably come back with a little accent. Don't worry about my safety in Chicago, y'all. I'm flying into O'Hare. And then the event is actually at the hotel that's attached to the airport. That's the only place I'm going. Staying right there. I'm not traveling anywhere. Okay. Okay. Yes, thank you, Debbie. So the passport is 4 weekly projects. You get free design. Well, not free designs. It's $20 to join the passport of my girlfriends. So this, when is Dave going to be a guest in the Stitchuation room? Dave, we can do that. I can send you a link and you can come in virtually. That'd be fun. Everybody wants to say hi. Yeah, so I'm going to have my, hold on a second, y'all. I'm talking about 3 different things at one time and I'm squirreling. So I will be, H&H is May, okay, May of 26. I'm going to be there. I'm going to take my camera with me. Well, I'll do some live streaming, meeting vendors and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be fun. I like to see what's coming out new in the market. And then talking about the passport. Passport is a 4-week project series from my girlfriend's quilt shop. Okay. And she's giving away a $100 My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop gift certificate if you sign up for the passport through my link down below. Okay. So you click on that and sign up. It's $20 for the passport. And each Friday, you're going to get an email to click on a button in the email and it'll take you. So week 1 was the wreath. Week 2, we're going to do coasters. And you just need to go in and collect your designs. You don't have to finish them or anything if you want to do that. And then week 3, we're making boxes, and week 4, we're making favors. And if you do all 4 of them, so you get like 15 designs doing this. And then if you do all 4 of them, then you get a bonus and it's 8 more free designs. But the idea is that each week you're going to get a project that's got step-by-step instructions. So that's what I followed to make the little bow on my pillow. All right. Okay. Okay. Is it not there to sign up anymore? It might not be available. Okay. So where am I here? Y'all, I can't see a dang thing. Sign up out of stock. It is. Okay, it's out of stock. Yeah. You had to be on your game when that was available. Right. Okay. I think, yeah, it was a limited time, I think. H&H is in Chicago, Beth. Well, okay. Well, maybe it's, I don't know what happened to it, y'all. I don't have time. Okay. So I've made those, and now I've got to make, okay, so those 4 were the top of the wheel, and now I need to make the bottom of the wheels. So I got to do that. If you're an embroiderer and you're new to quilting or haven't started quilting yet, let me put this down here. I got too much stuff going on. These things, what it's like, why are there letters, right? Why are there letters all over on all these cut pieces? Because, so it says to take a letter N square, and down at the bottom it says make 4, okay? So I'm going to take my letter N square, and that's this one. It was on my block, on my project board, okay? And I need to take a Q square, and that's these right here. They tell you how to cut them all, right? You get cutting instructions for each block set right here. And they're labeled A through whatever, however many pieces there are. This is A through S. Okay. Oh, I replaced the diagonal seam tape on my machine. The end was curling up. It'd been there for so long. So I need to make 4 of these with the Q. We're going to put them right sides together. And I'm just going to put these like this. And I need to sew this corner to corner. And that's it. It's got a picture of it right here. I'll show you how to do it. It's very cool. I need to change my camera so y'all can see what I'm doing. Audrey, are you just doing machine embroidery, or are you quilting? You doing both? What are you doing, sweetie? My granddaughter is, she can quilt. She prefers machine embroidery. Okay. So if you're doing this, I'll show you guys. You're going to put your ruler corner to corner on this smaller piece. Put your ruler corner to corner. I'm going to teach you guys about the term turn of cloth. That is a garment sewing term. Okay. And you're going to take a pencil or a marker or whatever. And I'm going to draw right next to the ruler. Okay. So if the ruler's corner to corner, the line is not. It looks like it's corner to corner, but it's not. Okay. And then you can make an X like that. And that way I know that's the piece that's going to be cut off. So when you're making all of your pieces, if you're going to mark them all at one time first, that's why you would put that little mark there. Okay. If the ruler's corner to corner, the line is not. I make a mark on it. That's the piece side that's going to be cut off. The reason you mark it is because if that line is not exactly corner to corner, then those two halves are not equal. One is a hair larger than the other. It has to be because the ruler was corner to corner. Okay. Cutting that one off. You don't want to put the larger one and cut it off because then you won't have enough room and your point won't match up. So we're going to have our little lesson here. Okay. Cutting that piece off. All right. When you're doing 45 of these or 50 of them at one time, that's very handy. So you take the part that has the mark on it, that's to the outside. That's the part that's going to be cut off. Okay. Now, this big brown block, this is my base shape. I'm going to change it by adding another piece of fabric to it. So this block right now is 5.5. It's still going to be 5.5 when I finish. And that is called maintain the integrity of the base shape. Okay. So I'm going to put this down. I'm just going to start sewing here, and I'm sewing on the line. So now that I've sewn on the line, before you cut, okay, this is called a sew and flip method. I'm going to take this point and I'm going to put it all the way up to the top to its point that it needs to match, okay, and I'm going to finger press it. This is called maintaining the integrity of the base shape. I have not cut this yet, okay, and I haven't ironed it. So it's still a 5.5-inch square, but you can't see that fabric from the back, okay, and I don't have any brown. It doesn't, you don't want like this. See that, where you can see the back of that? That'll mess you up. You don't want that, okay? So I'm going to press this. Oh, hold on a second here. Okay. With this point exactly where it needs to be, I'm going to press this. This is how you make good sew and flip corners, and your flying geese will be beautiful, your square and a square, your snowballs, everything will be just lovely, lovely, lovely. Now that I have put this up here, now I can open it up, okay? So I've got this top piece. I know it's in the right spot. I don't know how people do this without knowing that ahead of time. And then I'm just going to cut off approximately 1/4 inch. You can measure if you want, but I don't want to. Approximately 1/4 inch, those bottom two pieces. So I started with a 5.5-inch square, and I still have a beautiful 5.5-inch square. See? It's perfect. And it's going to stay perfect. I hit 85,000. Yeah, I did. Awesome. Who's that? Is that Michelle? Michelle, thank you for your super sticker. Thank you, darling. I appreciate that. A lady was at my class in Arizona. You guys look up here. See that orange star up there? Let me show you. She made that for me. And she came up and she said, you know that orange star? I made that. And it says, maintain the integrity of the base shape. That will make your point. See how pretty her points are? They're perfect. If you get that in your head. Yeah, my 85,000 subscribe, very organic, right? Very organic, slow. So now I need to do 3 more like that, okay? So it's really simple. Since I've already put that little mark, I know that that goes in the outside corner, and I'm going to, let me hit this button here. Okay, I'm going to put this right on the edge of the fabric. Okay, so when you start, maintain the integrity of the base shape. You don't want this like that. You don't want it hanging off. See that little bit hanging off? That'll mess you up. That'll mess with your 1/4-inch seam allowance. I don't want to see any brown over the top of this, and I don't want to see any of the gray over the top of that. Okay, so you got to get that just right and make sure it's even Steven there. And then sew on the line. And remember, the line is not center. It's right next to center. So I've got that room for that point to fold over and meet where it's supposed to. And in the garment sewing industry, that is called turn of cloth. You have room in there. If I was to put the larger point to the outside and sew on the line, it would be short when I tried to do it, and it would make me crazy. I'd probably say something I shouldn't. No, I wouldn't do that. I just unpick it and do it again. Okay, and here's my last one. This is called assembly line sewing. Let's do this nice. Oh, I wanted to do this yesterday so bad, and I just didn't get time to. It seemed it was always something with me and the Scan-A-Cut, and then at 2 o'clock, I had to reheat everything and get ready to go to friends for Thanksgiving. All right. Okay. Also, another thing too, when y'all are sewing on the diagonal like that, this is a bias stitch because you're sewing diagonally and you can get stretch. I do not recommend you doing this. We do this. This is great in garment sewing, but when you're messing with quilting cottons, okay, I don't recommend doing that because you're putting stress on that stitch and you can torque your squares. I don't like to do that. All right. So here we go again. Okay. We're going to just, I can just fold this up and it meets and it fits perfect. Okay. And it works just fine. And Dottie's barking. Okay. That little girl. Oh my goodness. She's getting it, y'all. She's actually kind of a fearful dog, believe it or not. She has definitely a personality and an attitude in the house where she feels secure, but when she's outside, she's a bit of a fearful pup. But she's okay. She's getting there. Frito leads the way. So this is good. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the bottom square that's going to go down here. So, all right, you guys. All right, last call for #hotfix. US shipping only, please, so I can give this away. All right. This, if you follow this method to make your flying geese or your any sew and flip, it will change your life. You will be amazed. See, I could never figure it out why sometimes it was right and sometimes it wasn't. And it used to just drive me crazy until I really sat there and thought about it one day. I'm like, why? Because I would mark my squares. You know, they tell you draw a diagonal line on all these little squares, right? And half of them were right, half weren't. I could never figure out why. And then I just kind of sat there and chewed on it one day. And I went really slow. I'm like, I got to figure out why this isn't working. And that's when it came to me. Aha. 1/2 of that square is a little bit bigger than the other. All righty. Make sure we got our StreamYard tool, 657 entries. Excellent. Oh, code word, #hotfix. While you guys are doing that, I want to show you something very cool. I told you about my neighbor next door who has Parkinson's. I gave her tubs of fabric that I knew I was never going to use. She just started sewing. She has the NQ3550W, the 6x10 hoop. It's a combo machine. I want to show you guys what she did with all of that. I just couldn't believe it. Let me share my screen. And here we go. Look at this, y'all. These are stockings she put together. And let me come up here and make it a little bit bigger. She embroidered their names on some of that wire ribbon. Look at that. And she just cut everything into 2.5-inch squares and got a stocking pattern. Her husband's a hunter. So she put all that together and just did a crosshatch. Isn't that nice? Oh, that's her little scooter she uses. I love that. I think that is just fabulous. And then there's her quilting. She just did this. Y'all, she has Parkinson's. Bless her heart. She shakes like a leaf in the wind. And she's bound and determined. I mean, when I saw this, that made my heart so happy. And then she did the jingle. I gave her that kit. I was like, oh my goodness, look at you. She didn't snap-applique it. She just did a blanket stitch around it. Look at that. I was so impressed. And then I gave her this panel and she pulled out some fall fabric and made that. Isn't that awesome? And just went around it with a blanket stitch. And it's lovely. Absolutely lovely. I just love that. That made me so happy to see that. She is amazing. She is amazing. She's just like a year or two older than me. Bless her heart. She just sits in there and sews and sews and sews. She's awesome. Okay, so let's do the giveaway, shall we? Let's do it. And giveaway tool. All right, here we go. #hotfix and draw. I want to encourage you guys to give Hotfix a try. I have a link to it below. And if you use the coupon code POWER, you get 10% off. Well, look at that. How about that? Can you guys see that? Becky is sewing 25 is the winner. Congratulations. That's wonderful. It's not me. I know I'm sewing, but this is somebody else. I don't know who she is. You guys, Becky, please send me an email, powertoolswiththread@outlook.com, and let me know where you would like me to send this. I'll be happy to get it in the mail to you today. Okay. I just love you guys. I hope you have a great weekend and get some stitching done, because I know I am, hopefully, while I'm working on this room. Okay. Let me do this. All right. I'll see you guys on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Go sew something. Bye.